wait for the thing to show me I'm streaming. Any day now. There it goes. Hey everybody, welcome to my kitchen again. It is good to see all of you. Tonight is not going to be a particularly long stream. I'm tired, I'm hungry. It is 9:24 and I have been working in the yard like all afternoon, so I need protein. And the premise of this evening, as you can see up above, is my buddy Noisy's been playing Monster Hunter World. I think that's the right game. Either that or... no, it's not Dauntless, it's Monster Hunter. And at the end of the hunts, they have these little cat critters, and they make this big meat feast that the hunters all eat. Hang on, someone's in chat. No Chill Nick! Woo! Welcome to the stream, man. It is good to see you. So tonight, I'm taking inspiration from that feast that they made, and it's nothing as big or grand as, but we're doing kind of a surf and turf kind of thing. So I'm going to have seared steak, and we're going to have the little shrimp on the sticks that come up from it. And I'm also going to do some chicken so that I have it for the next few days in some wraps. But we're going to cook it like all paella style, which means we're going to need to be very careful about how we prep it so that there's no cross-contamination. Which means the chicken is not the feature of this dish, but we are going to need to start cooking it first. So let's go get our meat out of the fridge and get a pan on the stove, and we will get started. Hey Inventus, how you doing? It's good to see you here. Thanks for swinging by the stream. It's going to be a short one tonight, but it is going to be a fun one. So let's get started. First, we're going to start with a nice big pan. Let's get some meat and some butter and some other good stuff going on. Roll of butter. Now, we're going to cook up plenty of chicken, so I have plenty of leftovers. I've got the shrimp. I will show you guys a quick and easy way to peel those in a minute. And then we got the steak. And I'm going to try something new with this tonight. I'm going to cook it the way I saw them do it, which is to sear it on both sides, then slice it, and then turn it to finish searing it, so it's done kind of a medium rare, but it's done on all sides, and it's in lovely little thick, delectable pieces. So that will be second. The shrimp will be last, and thus first we're gonna cut up our chicken. So let's get a cutting board. By the way, you guys are off the side, so I will try and check on you as frequently as possible. Why, thank you. And yes, searing first makes a huge difference, especially if you were going to season it during cooking, because you season it beforehand and you sear it real good, and then if you slice it, I'm hoping you'll be able to impart a little more spice on this stuff. That said, let's start with our chicken, and the chicken gets its own knife because salmonella. So doing it this way, we are going to be careful about how we do things. So this will be our chicken knife. And away we go. I've already washed my hands before I started the stream, and I haven't really touched anything that I shouldn't. So we have that out of the way. I am also going to put a plate here so that we have something to stick the chicken on. Normally I tuck... Now these are already nice flat chicken breast cutlets. However, I want them a little smaller and a little easier to deal with for my... get that vein off of there. A little easier to deal with for my wraps and things. So we're just going to kind of have them into little nice thin bits like this. And I think that these are nice because there's enough surface area to where we can get a lot of good spice on there. And they'll be big enough to where we can deal with them easily, and then I can make them smaller later. So we're just going to, like this one's a little bit bigger, so you see it's in two sections. We can kind of get that little section off the edge right there. And normally you don't do that with the point of the knife like I was just doing, but I'm trying to show you guys.
trim off these little bits of fat because they're not any kind of helpful. If we were going to cook this a long time in a crock pot or something, I would say go for it. But, oh, sorry, let me plug this streaming computer in, because if I don't, it will go dark on us. There we go. You guys are still there, right? Hello? One of you guys let me know if you're all still there, because I forgot to plug that laptop in and it decided to try and go to sleep on me. And you want to cut off these little weird pieces of grossness here. You want nice, tender, pretty looking cuts of meat. Now, this is going to be kind of small if we cut it and butterfly it like that, but it was going to be kind of big if we left it in one piece. And I really want these easy to deal with. Now there's a great big piece, so let's just go ahead and partition that up. Set that aside for a minute, we'll deal with this one first. And some of these are a little bit different to deal with than others, but if you get creative with it, it's not so bad. I like French style chef's knives, but you're going to see the kind I'm used to dealing with more these days in a minute, although these are indispensable in a kitchen. Always wash your knife with hot water immediately after you get done using it. Now, we don't need to wash off all the cutting boards right now, but I am going to wash and dry my knife. Just a Discord, your level nerd roll that. You know, that is a great idea, No Chill Nick, and I've been meaning to do that. Unfortunately, I have not had the time or the opportunity to do that yet, but I will sometime very soon. Now the chicken is ready, and I'm going to set it by the thing so we can start on it first, but the beef is next, and once the beef is ready, the shrimp is going to be imperative that we get it into the pan fast and on time. So before I start cooking any of this, we're going to go ahead and peel and prep the shrimp and put it on our skewers so that it is ready when the time comes. For right now, I'm going to set this over here, and next we have the trips. So, let's get us a nice little bowl for the shrimp, and another nice little bowl for, you know what, we don't need a bowl for the shells, that's making too much mess. Even for doing a cooking stream, we're going to use the paper as the bowl for the shells. Now, wait a minute, come with me. Come with me if you want to cook. Easy way to wash these shrimp and drain them. They're in a bag. Cold water in the bag. Juggle the bag. Oh, wait, we're getting someone in the channel. Ha 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 ha, it's No Chill Nick. Ebu Jones, hey, how's it going? Welcome to my kitchen. Thank you for coming to watch me cook this evening. I'm doing a surf and turf, and I'm also doing chicken with it so that I can have wraps later. We're just draining this water off of this shrimp for right now. And you get most of the water out of the bag, and this butcher's paper is wax coated, so we ought to be able to just dump these out and not worry about getting water everywhere. And I'll turn you guys around to it in just a second, but I'm going to check on you and throw this away. Let's see. You do feel welcome in the kitchen? Well, good. I am so glad that you do, because you're certainly welcome here. Right now what we're doing is kind of a surf and turf sort of thing. So we are going to peel shrimp really quick. And I don't have a lot of them, but I don't need a lot of them. Now, these still have the skin on, although they've been deveined. So what you do is you peel down from the sides and kind of get their legs and pull them off. And then from there, all you have to do is squeeze here at the tail, and out pops your shrimp. and your shell is more or less in one piece. And all you have to do is wash, rinse, and repeat for every single shrimp that you have, and you can go through them in short order without really having to do a whole lot of work or peeling things apart. You know, they all come apart real easy. And I'll show you guys that again. Grab the shell. Well, that one's missing it on that side, so let me show you with a good one. That one's missing it too. They've done my work for me. Grab the shell on either side, peel down, grab the legs, grab the tail. That's it. And it's pretty cool. You can smell the shrimp. These are nice and fresh. Now, you'll notice these shrimp are not pink because they are not cooked yet. That bright pink color they turn is what they turn after they are cooked. Now, give me a second to throw this away. I'll be right back. There are always cooking streams you want to watch when you're hungry. Well, I don't want to make you hungry if you don't have any food handy, but I like it when people tell me that I make them hungry just because I know I'm doing something right. Now, to prep these, because the ones that I'm trying to emulate tonight, and I might be being a little bit cutesy with this, is the ones on that Monster Hunter game that Noisy was playing. So we're going to put the shrimps on skewers to cook them. Of course, the pan's a little small for that, so what we're going to do is break the skewers in half, which is a terrible idea because they splinter. So maybe, just maybe, we'll use the non-splintery. Maybe we'll cut those in half. Give me just a second here. And we'd probably better do one at a time. Wow, bamboo is surprisingly hard to cut with cheapy scissors. There we go. Perfect. Now we won't have splinters in our food. Always a plus. So, skewer our shrimp up and we'll season it ahead of time. And I'm going to show you guys something really cool here, because we have got some seasoning now. Although I might need to cut one more skewer, which will take a second here. So much fun. You know, maybe if I just bend it a little bit and then cut it from there. Ooh, found a trick. Let me check on you guys while I stab these things. Bacon maker! I wish I had some bacon to put on it. Bacon, I am actually making something that Noisy Boy Jr. inspired me to make when he was playing his Monster Hunter game. The little cat chefs, they cook up this huge, like, meat feast. And it's got, like, this seared steak and these shrimp everywhere and other kinds of meats and things. And this is not going to be anything near as grand as that, but I'm going to do some steak and some shrimp to kind of look like the seared steak and the little shrimp skewers that they have. And then I'm going to do some chicken alongside it so that we have chicken for wraps in a couple of days. When I get back in town, I'm heading down to Louisville tomorrow. But now that we've got our skewers ready and set aside, we need to get this show on the road. So let me take you guys over to the stove, wash my hands real quick, and to do so I am going to need a towel. And always wash your hands when you've been handling any kind of raw meat, seafood, poultry, shellfish, anything. That could be hotter. There we go. So I wasn't really planning on a full-fledged stream tonight, and I got real hungry because I did a lot of yard work, and I thought, protein good. Let's see.
Yes, duo stream next Friday, and crotch what? Maybe for your stream, not mine. This has been hanging up a little too long. Let me wipe the dust out of it. Always cook with clean pans. There we go. Now, like I said, we're going to get the chicken going first, because the chicken has to be cooked before, anything else touches the pan, or you're in a world of trouble. But we're going to cook this kind of paella style, which means everything goes in the same pot. But if you do that, you have to be very careful about how you do that. And we're going to section it off, too. So first, let's go ahead and get some butter going in our pan. And of course, we might have to do it in 2 stages, because there's a lot of chicken. It might take up the majority of this pan. But we're cooking the meat with the beef with the shrimp, because we're going to get some surf and turf going here. Now, let me show you a cool trick. Before you throw the chicken in, go ahead and salt your pan. This is a stainless steel pan, and that'll keep it from sticking a little bit. There we go. Yeah, we're going to have to do this in stages, because this is a lot of chicken. Give me a sec, guys. Actually, you know what? Tonight's garbage night, so I'm just going to run this out after the stream. Of course, I need to put it somewhere in the meantime. And I also need my tongs. Griffith from Berserk, huh? I am not entirely sure I know who that is. So you're going to have to link me a picture. Let's see here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we need herbs and spices. So, we're going to do celery salt. We're going to do cascabel pepper. I don't have any black pepper still, so we're going to do white pepper. And I think some sage. Yeah, let's do sage. All right, celery salt goes on first, because it's good. Cascabel pepper. Do not leave home without it. Sage. We need to turn this down before it burns. Little white pepper. And last but not least, not even kidding, plenty of onion powder. Fresh onion if you've got the time. I don't tonight. We're going to turn this over. Let the other side baste up real good. Oh yeah. Smell that sizzle. You got to season on both sides. All right, we're going to let that go just a second while I put some of these herbs and spices away, because we're going to do the surf and turf a little differently. Meantime, I'm going to check on you guys. Yes, onion powder. It's great stuff. Never have a kitchen without onion powder stocked. We also need a little more salt on that. There we go. Now, that's chilling in the pan, and once it finishes cooking, we can go ahead and start throwing the other stuff in there. I'll deglaze the pan with a little butter and maybe a little white wine just for fun. Maybe not, though. I don't know what flavor I want on the beef. Malt vinegar. Malt vinegar. There we go, because it'll go well with the seafood. I'll do that. And then, once the steak starts to sear on both sides, we're going to do what they did and just slice it while it's sizzling. It's going to be great. Also, how many streamers do you know that brandish a nice Chinese-style knife at you while you're watching? Depends. Sometimes I will marinate them before I cook them. Sometimes I will season them as I'm cooking them. But I always season before I cook, usually. Although, like I said, I'm in a hurry tonight. But I'll rub them down, pat them down, and then I'll add a little extra while I'm cooking it. Because usually, like if you deglaze this or something, it'll kind of make it into a sauce. And interestingly enough, I'm not making a sauce tonight, which means that the spice is going to be a little uneven on these, as you can see. But what I'm planning on doing is slicing these up and putting them in little pita pockets for wraps, along with lettuce and some nice Caesar dressing and cheese and stuff like that. So uneven seasoning on these is not going to be a problem. Oh man, they're smelling good, guys. Oh, you're pointed at my ceiling again. Come on over here. There we go. That's better. You can see the whole stove. Well, I'm not getting in the oven tonight, though. I said onion. I can smell onion. It's wonderful. We have got some lovely, and I mean lovely, caramelization going on these. But it's starting to get dry in some places. And we don't really want that, because it means we're going to lose spice to the bottom of the pan. So if we take a little bit of butter and just kind of get that scraped up into a bit of a liquid there, you can actually kind of drag your chicken through it a little bit and get it nice and coated. And then it turns a beautiful sort of glazed, caramelized brown there. There you go, look at that. That is a big piece of chicken right there, and we need a little butter on it. I am not shy about cholesterol. I probably should be, because one of these days my metabolism will probably slow down. I just hope it's not tomorrow. Excuse me. Battery Powered Aaron and Jess, Jessica Specs. Hey, listen, guys, we have a ton of streamers in here, and I don't know if my chat allows links or not. But can we get shout-outs for No Chill Nick, X the Bacon Maker, Battery Powered Specs, and whoever the heck else is here that has come by. I think, does Inventus, do you stream? I think so. All of you, you know, just, well, heck, though, you all know each other. So see if you can give each other shout-outs, and if you can, great. And if you can't, you all know each other. Go follow each other and visit each other, because you are all wonderful. Let's check on this chicken. There we go. See that excess butter, especially like right there, has kind of started turning into, it's kind of started mixing with the chicken broth. And it's starting to make kind of a nice little glaze on the bottom of the pan. So we are going to help it along a little bit. Wait. Yeah. Malt vinegar. Give that a little shake. Oh, isn't that pretty? Looky there. Glazed golden brown goodness. Ooh. Ha-ha. This guy thinks we don't follow it. That's funny. I am glad to see every single one of you in my chat. It's wonderful to have you here. How's everyone's day been going? Let me know. How were all your streams if you were streaming today? How was other people's streams if you were watching them? And how are you? How are you all this evening? Is your week going good? It's halfway over. And I want to hear about it. So tell me about it while we finish up this chicken and then get on to the main attraction. I am going to need a plate to stick this on. Oh, look at that. It is time. Okay, guys. Confession time. I said I was going to do this paella style, but I don't think I want the exact same flavors for the beef and shrimp that I did for the chicken. So we are going to wash this pan and then do the beef. So I hope you will forgive me. I lied earlier, but I didn't mean to. So let's get us a nice washcloth, hot pan. Rinse most of the stuff out of it. And leave only a tiny little bit of water in it, just enough to get your washcloth down in there. Ooh, that's toasty. And give it a good scrub out. Well, you can't see. Give it a good scrub out while it's still blazing hot. Because if you do that, it will be so much easier to clean out. Of course, this has a little bit that's sticking to it because it's not a non-stick pan, it's stainless steel. So for those instances, I have a wire sponge. Now, if you do that, even while it's good and hot like this, you can't just stick it right back on the stove because a wire sponge leaves little bits of metal. You can't feed people little bits of metal. So you're going to have to wash it out real good with a sponge and make sure that you rinse it very well. Because if you don't, you run the risk of getting little bits of copper in your food. And I cannot begin to tell you what a terrible idea that is. So now we have a fully washed and clean pan, which means it's not hot anymore. Well, I say that, but the handle's still pretty hot. I need to put it down in a second, because it's also about 8 pounds. It's heavy and it's hot. Beautiful combination. All right, clean pan, and away we go. Now, here's the experimental part, because I do want to do the whole searing and slicing thing. We're going to see how that works out. Best tool for barkeeper's friend. Yes, that's good stuff. Well, see, if I put a camera on my head, I would have to have a cord going to it, and that would be, well, amusing, but
I would look like a bumper car. That would be interesting. All right, so for beef, we are going to use far less butter than we did for the chicken. But we are going to use more salt than we did for the chicken. All right. I have not tenderized this. I have not tried this before. We're in new territory, ladies and gentlemen. I have never cooked meat like this before in my life. But I've thought it out ahead of time, so we're probably going to be all right. I'm just going to let that sear a minute, and I'm going to check on you guys. Very funny, Nick. It will be when I'm done with it. Of course it's a steak. A steak is supposed to be 7 pounds. Normally, actually that's not 7 pounds. It's like a half pound, and you would call that a roast. But we're going to cook it as if it were a steak, which is the new territory that we're in. And what I might need to do is get this pan a little hotter so that we can sear it. And I think what I'm going to do when I get done is slice it lengthways, which I realize now is going to be a challenge in this round pan. I meant to get this nice little flat stainless steel, this nice little flat cast iron one, because it has no edges on it and it was flat and square, and I thought I might be able to cut a little easier, but c'est la vie. We're gonna see what we see here. Now, while this is cooking on the raw side, we're gonna add a little white pepper. We're going to add some salt. We're going to add some onion. Because onion's always good on steak. But what I'm going to put on it, I think if I can find it, is a little bit of parsley. And I might need to turn it real soon here. And some pink peppercorn. Pink peppercorn is actually not pepper. I think it's a member of the rose family. But either way, it has a wonderful flavor. All right, let's see if we can flip this. Oh, yeah. So when you guys getting here? Wait, is that noisy? Noisy! Welcome to my kitchen, man! How you doing? I'm trying to cook up that gigantic steak from your game. And it looks like I might even be succeeding. I also got some chicken going, and we're going to do some surf and turf. I think after I slice the steak lengthwise, for the steaks lengthwise, I'm going to chuck the shrimp in, which means I need to get to seasoning them. So, for those, we are going to do, where's my cayenne? We are going to do cayenne pepper. There we go. And coriander. And I'll add some of that cascabel pepper to them when I get it over there, but it's still over there on the stove, so. All right. This looks like it might be ready to divvy up. All right, y'all. Experimental territory. Let's do this. Oh, yeah. We're just going to set that down on its side. I tell you, that looks almost exactly like it looks in game. Oh, I couldn't be happier with this. This is going to be good. Little salt. Keep it moist and juicy. And, yeah, I'm not going to mess with it much more than that because it's going to be good. We'll take each of these and just flip them over once after they've cooked enough on that side. And when we flip them over, I think we'll add the shrimp along with them. And I think that that's going to finish up our feast. I should probably cook a vegetable, but maybe tomorrow. Yeah, you know, I don't know that I've ever spent any amount of time in Michigan. It's nice. I've been through Michigan, but I don't think I've ever been, like, to there as a destination, although we went through Detroit on the way to Boblo Island when I was a kid and really enjoyed it. And then we went to Detroit again on the way to Boblo Island as a teenager. And we got there and we found out that they'd torn down the amusement park and were building clone homes there. So that was an adventure. But it's nice up there. Wisconsin is also very nice. I like all those places. I like them in the midsummer because you can feel your fingers and toes. Let's check on this. Oh, yes. Now, we can cut through that little bit of fat on the end. Oh, yeah. I am absolutely drooling, y'all. Okay, it is time for our shrimp, which means it is time for much more butter than we've got in there. We're going to throw them over here on the side so we can keep an eye on them. And maybe up here on the top. A little water in that bowl to get the rest of our herbs and spices. And we're going to set it right here. And when I go to flip those shrimp over in a second, I will use that to make sure they don't stick. Yes, the pictures with the birds are awesome. Let's scoot you guys over a little bit and give our shrimp a little room to cook. See, when the shrimp cook, they turn pink. I saw the birds on Discord, but yes, I do have Snapchat. It doesn't work very well on my phone and tends to crash it because I use an old Galaxy S3 because it is one of the last phones that will do simultaneous voice and data on a 3G network as well as a 4G network, and I need that for dealing with some of my clients because if I'm out in the boonies with 3G and I need to be talking to them while remote controlling their computer with my phone, it works a lot better. In fact, I need to order another Samsung Galaxy S3 because mine is getting kind of raggedy. But that said, yes, I do have Snapchat. It just doesn't work all that well. If you guys want, I will send you my Snapchat handle. Oh, looky, looky. I'm actually going to turn this one just once more. Now, the cool part about this is going to be the presentation, so I better put all these herbs and spices away real quick so that we can plate this up. Yeah, okay. Goes up there, and go down here. Why the hell is that there? Oh crap. Oh well. Okie dokie. Butter is gone. That's going in there. All right. So, plating up time. Oh yeah. We're gonna do this a little different. Not too much. All right, real quick before this gets too out of hand. That's a little warm. Let's get this cleaned out real quick. Woo! Like I said, be real careful when you do this because it is hot. But it will make your life so much easier. I am going to soak that one a little bit. I asked a little bit too much of it tonight. Now, Noisy and company, remember the Monster Hunter World Feast? Come here, take a look at this, y'all. Well, let me move this out of the way. There. How'd I do? Yeah, I can't get any closer than that without like killing 700 pounds of animals. But for a one-person meal, I think that this is going to be as close as I can get on short notice. Lord Wiggleton, you say? I love that emote, Noisy. That's great.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there is actually one more thing that this is usually the point where, I tell everyone goodbye and throw the stream over to someone, but because we cook this way, and I don't know if this is medium rare, medium well, etc., what I would like to do with you guys here is to actually cut into this thing and to see if it is medium rare, as I was hoping it would be, or if it's more or less, or yada yada. So right now, we are going to cut into it and see what the inside looks like, just to see how this method results in steak. And in the meantime, if I had it to do... No, there it is. I was going to say if I had it to do over again, I'd add a little bit more cayenne, but it kicks in right there at the end. All right. Let's cut into this and see how it is. I do not currently have any steak knives because they all went with my wife when she moved to Tennessee. So I'm going to use this bread knife, and oh, that is perfect! Yes! There we go. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to cut off a nice little sensible-sized, bite-sized piece of that. Now that is exactly about how I like my steak. It's medium rare, it's seared on the outside, it should be cooked all the way through. I'm gonna need a minute. This is perfection. I'm gonna go answer questions. It does. It absolutely melts in your mouth. Battery powered. And I don't know if it's Aaron or Jess or both of you there tonight, but it does. And thanks, Bacon. Yes, it is. It is so perfect. I mean, I can't tell you how perfect it is. Like, the juice is just starting to run clear. It's cooked. It's warm all the way through, but yet it is so tender in the middle. And now I am going to run off on you in a minute because I want to eat this before it gets cold. And if I keep yammering, it's it's going to. So, any of you guys have any suggestions on who to throw the stream over? And while you're suggesting that, I want to say again, this has been one of the most hype streams I have ever had, guys. Thank you so much for coming and joining me in my kitchen. It is wonderful to have you guys here, and you are welcome back anytime, either in Twitch or if you're passing through Cincinnati in person. Just don't, start banging on my door without letting me know you're coming, because I won't have time to find ingredients. But other than that, please feel free to join me for dinner anytime, all of you. That said, I'm going to check out and see what you guys have got going over in the chat, and I'm going to see who we're throwing the stream over to. Bacon says he will be here in like 2 minutes. Dude, we've got a shrimp skewer waiting for you. Thanks, Inventus. I appreciate that. It was kind of an experimental night, and I'm glad it turned out as well as it did. All right, so I know who we're rating. Yes, Bacon, you can have all of the steak you want. And that goes for all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are throwing the stream over to Synodon, who looks like he's still streaming, if Twitch isn't lying to me, which it does sometimes, but we're going to cross our fingers and hope that Cinna is still streaming, because I would really like to raid Cinna. So, if I throw you over to him and he is not still streaming, then sit tight, because I'll figure out someone else. And in the meantime, thank you one more time. Y'all are awesome. Come back anytime. I will see you in Discord. Bon appetit.